Hello, everyone. Can you guys hear us? We're live.
Are we?
We are.
Yo, yo, yo.
Sweet. Let's get
So,
started.
we are here with the Junkies. Thanks for joining us, everyone. We got Jake and Donnie. I'd like you to just quickly introduce yourselves and what your project is all about for
Yeah,
those who don't know.
I'm Jake, also known as SafeQuest. I'm one of the founders of XRP Junkies and Dark Oak Studios. Primarily, I'm just the artist and Unity game developer. So, what's up, everybody?
Wait. Yeah, so I'm Donnie or Lawrence or Blanjo, whichever one you know me as. The other co-founder here with Jake at Dark Oak Studios and the Junkiverse, XRP Junkies, Junction, and everything else included. Yeah, I handle more of the day-to-day stuff, business, outreach, social channels, and whatnot. But yeah, I guess a little bit about the Junkies. Just if anyone's new or watch this in the future. The Junkie started off as a kind of a 10,000 collection of NFTs on the XRP ledger. From there, we kind of developed this kind of passion for building out a game, and that's kind of what the Junkiverse has turned into. Is kind of a mix of a bunch of different game styles into something new and unique. And we're building every day, getting closer every day, and it's been a fun journey so far.
So, what's the best way, just to get this out of the way right away, what's the best way for people who are interested in finding out more? Discord,
Yeah. Just hop
Twitter?
into our Discord. We have a community that loves answering questions, and they're extremely helpful to newbies that are coming into the Junkiverse. So yeah, hop in there, ask some questions. We're always in there as well. So you can just send us a message and we'll get back to you. But we're gonna compile a bunch of links and informational documents, and just gonna throw them in Discord too later today. Kind of have that in the checklist, so kind of perfect
Later
timing if
today.
you're new. Yeah,
So,
there you
Yeah,
go.
yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, Twitter's good for like overview, big milestone stuff. Discord is more personal. If you want to grasp on a little bit deeper level, we also have our white paper, which is again kind of a high level overview of the project and everything we're kind of trying to accomplish. So yeah, any of those things, if when you're doing your due diligence and whatnot, coming into, the white paper is a good place to
DIY,
start.
Donny, DIY. Oof.
What did I say? Due diligence, same thing. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
People
then
don't
go
do
on
that,
Twitter,
Donny.
do
You
the
know
look.
that.
Yeah. I mean, that's why Discord's good. If you don't want to look as much
Yeah.
and you want to come ask some more straight up questions, it's a good place to go as well. So
So we have a few parts here that we want to go over today. First of all, real quick, just a quick rundown. Do you have any news? What is the latest news? What's happening with the Junkie project? What's happening with the Junkie verse? And what's happening with the Mint? And is there more to come with minting? New NFTs coming, and so forth. Just give us a little bit of a rundown. What's going on?
The past around month or so, we've been pretty busy building one of these features that we're about to release to the community, and it's loot boxes. We've been working on it for a while now, since the inception of Junction itself. So this is going to be very close on the horizon, is the release of loot boxes and having some cosmetic NFTs that people can dress up their junkies with. We've also been working on a 3D viewer where you can log into, visualize your junkies in a 3D since they're full bodies, and dress them. You can play a little bit of dress up with some of the stuff you get out of your loot boxes.
yeah,
Uh,
it's a little tease into what you'll see in the
Do you
game.
get a little dressing room? Sorry, do you get a little
yeah,
dressing
yeah,
room
yeah,
and
yeah,
change?
exactly. Get a little
You
dressing
think the
room.
junkies they dress in the dressing room? They're dressing out in the
Junkie
open.
dressing room.
Yeah. Straight in the middle of an alleyway. You're
Yeah. Rain coming down.
yeah, exactly. We also just submitted our grant application for the Wave 5 of the XRPL grants, and it's called Nexus, actually. And it's just a bunch of XRPL Unity tools that we've been building for a while now. We kind of put it all together in this package that we want to open source for projects that are wanting to build games on the XRP ledger. So That's a really cool one. We just got back from LA, so
No. So
So,
how long does it take for you to hear from Ripple regarding the grant? Usually, do you know?
It really, yeah, it really varies. Yeah, I mean, it depends, one, how many applications I actually receive from, outside people, other projects, other groups. It could be next week, it could be a month from now. I think that they're opening wave 6, I think at the end of April already or something, they said. I think I
Wow.
saw that on one of the emails we got. So I'm sure this process will be sped up a little bit more than, the previous waves. I think they're really getting a lot of things together on their end and trying to, add a little bit more to the ecosystem a little bit quicker. So hopefully we'll hear sooner rather than later.
And how does
So
that
could
work?
you?
You just get a quick phone call. Hello, it's David.
Yo,
Yeah, no,
I
yeah.
would love to talk to him.
You
you've
haven't
never
talked-
A
spoke
lot of
to him.
times it's
No, I think we've seen him before at an event, right? We saw him in a TLA, and he was talking to somebody, and right as we were about to go up to him, he just disappeared out of thin air. I think he must have
It's
hit
the
like a
junkies.
button and then transported himself to an alien spaceship or something,
He's being
But,
probed then by the aliens, isn't he?
Probably so, yeah.
Yeah, but continue. Yeah, go on.
Could
yeah,
I ask
so
a
it's-
question? Sorry, could I ask a quick question? So could you go for grant 6, or you only allowed to go for certain grants?
yeah, so that's why, I guess that's why I'm thinking. So if this wraps up by the next one comes out at the end of April, I'm sure they'll have, a lot of this stuff kind of streamlined before then. Because, if we were to get this grant, we may try to apply, they may have a themed wave that focuses on gaming, and, we could apply for a different part of the project for that kind of grant. But yeah, no, it's not limited. You're not restricted. I mean, we could have done 10 different applications for this grant,
Right.
this grant wave. It's really what they're looking for, and if they believe it's something that'll add some value to the XRPL.
Nice. So do you know, with the last grant money you got, are you hiring more developers or in the pipeline?
Yeah, no, we did actually hire more developers with that. So that was primarily going strictly to Junction, and we're at a comfortable state. We're about to go to a beta phase with it. So we're going to be onboarding some projects for free and uploading their artwork and giving them a little community space for their projects. And that's going to be happening extremely soon, actually, which is super exciting. We're also going to port over all of our claiming stuff for the droids, and the future loot box things are going to be ran through our Junction page. But yeah, all the money's pretty much gone to that.
You want to explain a little bit about the Unity engine, what it is, what it does, what it's for, and maybe show us as well?
Yeah, it's the greatest game engine in the world.
No, you guys developed it. Of course it is.
You did.
Well, not the Unity engine itself, but the XRPL connections, we sure did. Here. So my screen all right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so Jake, before you show anything, start with kind of like a very high level overview of like what Unity is at its root.
Well, yeah, Unity is just a game engine.
It's a 3D game engine, right? Where you can develop games and
yeah, you can develop
3D
games,
objects and all kinds of things in 3D. Animated, non-animated.
Yeah, exactly.
For
you can
video,
do
for
anything
movies,
in it. And
right? For all
there's
those
a lot
kind
of use cases that companies have. Like if you go into a McDonald's and you are ordering on their automated kiosk that they have, that could be built within Unity itself. It's not just strictly to games and things like that. It could be built for applications, for real world use cases and things like that. And the XRPL can benefit off that as well. Like, you go to McDonald's again and you order a burger. Let's say they want to give you a coupon that's an NFT. Well, some of the tools that we've built makes that possible within the game engine. So it's pretty cool.
And this is what you're using to build the Junkiverse.
Yeah, that's what we're using to build the Junkiverse. So it's pretty difficult because nobody has built anything. There's no open source code. It's pretty much extremely early to the sense of all the tools that we can use and utilize for our game. So we kind of had to do everything from scratch, and I'm extremely proud of our team for doing so, because it's a very hard thing to accomplish for a team of our size. But yeah, this is the main menu scene right here. It's the junction station, which is kind of a plan where it's both the same thing, but we decided to name it that last minute.
Is that where you start from in the Junkiverse, Jake, or?
Yeah, for right now, this is
That's
going
where
to
you
be
arrive.
So this
yeah,
is
and it might,
absolutely exclusive what you get to see here. No one has ever seen in public.
yeah. Well, I think we did post this on Twitter, but yeah. So if I click login right here, and I can type in my nickname, we're probably going to change this up a little bit. We're thinking about having some Web 2 account system that you link your wallet to in the first place. You don't have to sign all the time. We're just going to bypass a login with
Like a
whatever wallet is connected.
Zum wallet login, for example.
Yeah, but we're thinking about linking it to a Web 2 account. So we'll always have that there, and you'll just have to swipe whenever you log in. But put save quest, and a QR code is going to pop up. Scan this real quick.
We should. They say you should wait and see if someone in chat scans it.
They're all busy now scanning.
Yeah.
Whoever scans it first.
Yeah, I'll wait for it. But if you have a 1 of 1, don't scan it, because I haven't implemented the functionality for that yet.
I want to grab my phone quickly scan it.
I didn't see if B-Street's in here. B-Street can scan it.
B-Street's scan it.
All right, cool. I'll wait for him to do so. It might be delayed just a little bit.
But yeah, I guess so like, yeah.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
There you go.
Are these yours, Bezatray?
Look at this whale.
Yeah, go Bezatray.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's B-Street. It might be. Could be anybody.
Yeah, so I can click any one of these guys, and it just
Aaron said
them.
I scanned. Bezatray said I can't.
Oh man.
That's awesome.
Yeah, this might be Mr. Modbuzz's.
It is.
Yeah, I think so.
He said it is.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool the way that we're doing this. We're actually not pulling any of these NFTs from IPFS. The only thing that we're pulling is the metadata of the NFT itself. So no image is being read into Unity.
No need, right? You already have those files locally.
I mean, they're not even files. It's kind of different. So the way that we built the characters to be created within the game engines, because everything that we've done is within Unity. So the junkies are actually generated, rendered, and minted all in Unity itself. So what we're doing is we're passing that DNA string that's put into the JSON file, and we take that code and then we put it into our script, and we recompile the NFT within the game itself. So all of these things
shown, based on the code.
Yeah, instantly shown. Doesn't take any loading time. The only loading time it is from the ledger itself. So it's extremely quick and efficient. So each time I click one of these guys, I'm just taking whichever head I have that's already in the scene in the world somewhere, and just popping it onto the body. So yeah, I can.
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. So it's very scalable in the sense that you can have if someone had 500,000 junkies, really obviously it's not a common thing, but it pulls all those things, reconstitutes them, and pops up. So it's not a thing where you're gonna be sitting there for 10 minutes for it to load everything up.
Yeah, the typical Web3 game. That's what it is, and that's one of the biggest hurdles that people have to overcome is how are they going to find it, and how are they going to make it so that it's scalable and efficient, But yeah, this is Ashpan Gutters. It might be a little laggy on the stream because I'm also in the game engine. I'm running at 100 FPS, but also sharing my screen through Zoom, and Zoom is outputting it to YouTube Live.
It's not too bad, honestly. I'm looking at it on the stream. It's pretty clean.
Okay, good.
Better than I thought.
Yeah, so you see I have the junkie I just took, and I'm logged in here. I'm just running
Looks
around.
So awesome. I can't wait to get in there.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty exciting.
I mean, then you're gonna have
I
a whole
just
bunch
want to
of
hit
people in
Rusty's.
there. Ah, it's gonna be great. This looks
Yeah,
so
we're
good.
Yeah. So the cool part too is that, like, this is just like one map. This has nothing to do with any kind of like the story or progression in different ways. This map is going to be used for some kind of PvE, but a lot of PvP. We have some great ideas for what we're doing with like story mode and kind of like introductory tutorial kind of things. And if you think this looks good, like we have some really cool ideas and ways to get them done kind of in the pipeline
yeah.
too.
There's a lot of stuff that's unfinished I haven't shown yet, but
I
I only like to
remember
show things.
running up when I had to go at this. Jeez, I couldn't control myself. I was hitting walls and everything.
Yeah, and we also do I still have the test dummies in here? I don't know.
No, I can't see them.
Oh, the shadow's still there. I still got to bake the lighting and kind of see where he was. Right there. But yeah, this was kind of a test map that we're doing, and this is going to be the first map that we do a multiplayer PvP test with. Um, that should happen decently soon. I mean, it's ready to go. Just a little bit of tweaking some of the camera controls and how the guns work, because we have to redo everything in a multiplayer sense, because everything we've been doing with the shooting range and um, like that has been with a single player character, and a lot of things don't translate easily, so like that. But
Yeah.
So this is basically a single player PvE or PvP. Is there gonna be PvP map?
yeah, no, it's strictly for a PvP map.
Right.
But yeah,
Oh, he hits
we might add
punches.
Yeah.
some.
Didn't you
Yeah,
have a go at this, buddy? Seriously.
Yeah, there's different things we can do with it too. It's the ideas are for it to be a PvP map, but we could throw in spawners and turn it into a single player little wave shooter as well. There's so many different things you can do, but like, yeah, the idea is to start off as kind of our first testing of gun mechanics, interactions in a multiplayer capacity is kind of
yeah,
the next step for that.
and also to figure out, like, how many people that we can have on the server at once without it lagging, and the way that we're gonna do instancing and matchmaking, just testing those things. And after that, once we have a smooth launch and we figure out all the hiccups, we're gonna open up Rusty's for some hanging out, and we're probably gonna leave that server
Yeah.
on for as long as we want until the game actually it's like 100% complete, and we can actually start throwing in some of the gameplay loops and things in that sense. But I think Rusty's is going to be really fun. We can all hang out together and drink some
Rusty's,
beer.
for those who don't know, is the little bar social area within the Junkiverse, right?
That's where you find me.
But let's see if I can pull this up. It's one of these. Oh, there we go. Actually, I wonder if Derek. Do you think Derek's
I
Nah,
doubt
that's
it's
not the good.
online.
Yeah, but we're doing some testing right here actually, and what we did was I set up this little generic action event, and what it did was it called our Nexus Manager. So I pressed E on this, and it took a picture of this NFT or this gun right here, and it minted it as an NFT, and it took like less than a second after I pressed the button to mint, and then it sent the wallet, and I just had to slide to accept it, which is super cool.
Sorry, Jake. Bingo's message said he can turn it on if you want.
Yeah, let me see if this. I think this is an older version that I'm looking at it because the camera's put right here.
Yeah, I mean, regardless,
You
could be
know
cool
what?
to
Let's
see,
try it.
but also, it's mess around and
Yeah, no, it's super cool, and it's so quick, and Bean did such an amazing job actually getting it working. No,
That's why he's a
it's the wrong
god.
one. Yeah, so super proud of him. But yeah, Rusty's Bar.
Rusty's bar, there it is.
Rusty's.
And we looked at this before a while back, I think like seven
It
or eight
was a
months
lot.
ago.
Yeah.
It didn't have the pool table and a few other things I'm seeing here. That's new. I think there was a jukebox.
Yeah. Karaoke stage, there was. Poker
Yeah.
table was there.
Yeah, I don't think
And
we
we're
haven't
still,
changed too much to it, but I
No.
think we're we are planning on making little tweaks here and there now that kind of like the way we kind of view it, and I think Jake can agree
The
that
lighting's
over
better
time
now as well.
yeah,
just over time that ours progressed and kind of grown. So
yeah, like right over here, these are just placeholders. Once we go live with Rusty's, we're actually gonna be putting some like um, chart trackers with the XRP price, and have some YouTube videos playing and just news, and people can hang out. We're gonna have our casino coin implementation. So if you want to come in and you don't live in the U.S. and you want to gamble a little bit, you'll be able to do so. This is gonna be cool.
yeah. Yeah, it's also it's different too because we're gonna set up an area for them, and we'll show that up more when it actually gets a little bit closer to being ready and working with them. But yeah, also they have implementations as well where you can play kind of with fake money as well, and still kind of have that little casino gambling experience with other people. So it's
Casino Coin, the official partner of the Junkiverse.
Yeah, and they're great people. We talked to them a bunch and really excited for what they're doing.
awesome. All right, we're gonna move on to what else we got.
Quick question. Your IOU token, Junk, any plans for that, or because obviously that's a big topic at the moment within the XRPL projects.
Yeah, right
Yeah,
now
I'd
we're
say
just riding the wave.
yeah, like
Good
that. We have
answer,
ideas
Jake.
in mind. And ideas in mind, there's a lot of like the biggest counter argument to everything is, essentially, it's an IOU token, it's a voucher. It's really from a legal standpoint, and two to technical standpoint is like unless we had specified a set time that it expires when we had originally launched it, we can't necessarily take it away. It's going to be one of those things that, it may be open in a much, non-launch pad where it's just somewhere on our website where people, they come back in a year, can mint their stuff. But, the idea is to get as many people minted out as possible. Because at that point, there's different things we can do to still give everyone who has junk their value at any point in time, but also like wrapping up some of those kind of things.
Yeah, and it's kind of like moving the culture forward in the XRPL. I think that over time we're going to get away from the phase of the IOU, and the IOU is going to be something that's kind of remembered in the past. And of course, there's going to be people that are still holding on to it, but no project is going to want to promote their IOU. They're going to want to promote their NFTs, and inevitably, as the XRP ledger grows, that's what we're going to be doing. Everybody needs to change their how to buy on their websites to the actual NFTs instead of the IOUs. We need to do the same, like, just informational things like that. Because I remember back in the past, when people would come into our project for the first time, they would be so confused on what an IOU is, and people still are going to be confused on what an IOU is. And so,
yeah,
Jake. Do you want to anything else you want to show here? You want to give it back to Duncan just for the screen?
I'll give it back to Duncan for right now.
Let
me poke around a little bit.
Out. He sat there lost. What do I want to do? Something.
Nick, you're back on second place.
Yeah, man. Always.
We have a bunch of questions for you guys, and some are from Discord members, some are from Twitter, some are from us. We asked about the Unity engine. We asked about the IOU. A lot of people are a little bit wondering about the website. It seems you have two websites. And what's the main website and what's happening with the website? Is
read, buddy.
It's been a lot of conversion.
Yeah, it's things like so, and that's kind of the fact, of being bootstrapped essentially from the start of the project is, there's only so many hands we're putting our time and effort into the things that we feel are most important for the community and whatnot. And everyone who's with us today has been someone who's supported us essentially from the beginning. So yeah, I mean, as of right now, the Junkiverse junkiverse.com / white papers, where we keep our white paper. The other site we're working on getting out of there, but at the end of the day, as like Jake said earlier in the conversation, was we were working on this grant, for the past few weeks, and then before that it was Junction, and we have a lot of these big projects we're wrapping up with. So, the idea is that we can expect a conversion. Yeah, exactly. And like something he didn't say earlier is I think this grant is our most like fully fledged. I haven't been so confident in something we've submitted, through any grant wave. And I think we have a really good chance at pushing something forward in this space in that regard. But yeah, so the website, our main website, quote unquote, is xrpjunkies.club. Soon to get off of that one, but it's really just a matter of, wrapping things up over there and bringing over what's important and maybe scaling back for now. Or maybe we do one of those things like the X-Punks did and just have a site that's just one page and tells them to come to Discord.
Yeah.
So there's a bunch of different approaches.
Nick, you want to go to the next question?
Oh, you can't call my name. Any updates on your timeline of when everything's going to be ready? Or
people are asking, right?
Have you got a timeline? When,
where, how?
When, lads? When?
Is there updated white paper, updated timeline? Is it on
Have
Discord?
you got a timeline of regarding
for those anxious guys and
when we can get in the Junkiverse?
So we're kind of rolling it out like in a phase type of thing. The next big milestone for us to reach and hit is loot boxes in the 3D viewer. After that, like during that time period, we're going to be doing some private testing with some of the OGs and the really active members within Discord for multiplayer testing within the game. We want to keep it small because we want to make sure that we minimize any exposure to bugs or anything like that. So as we get loot boxes out and we're doing multiplayer testing, you two are invited, of course.
Thank you.
We're going to be opening it up to the public, and we're going to be stress testing the network and having as much people on as we possibly can. That should happen within the following weeks.
Yeah.
But after that, once
don't give a date, settled, Jake. Don't give a date.
No dates.
I know it's hard.
It is hard.
Politician.
It is hard because if you say anything, then you're committing. Then people say, "Well, you said."
We do have internal dates that we did set aside for us to hit and milestones to reach, and I have those in my head, but I don't want to say them out loud. So in case anything happens in the meantime.
Soon TM.
So
TM.
Be patient.
Much sooner than a year ago. So.
Yeah. Oh no! See, I'd say a year and keep them hanging on.
No, not that.
Just to test them.
But
2024.
Full game mechanics definitely do take a long time to create. That's why we're trying to do things smaller as we're building out those big gameplay things, because we're doing that all the time. Like we're making the functionality for the actual game every single day, and it's like we don't want to release that just yet because it's not finished. What we can release is small aspects that we have completed. We're working on a million things at once. So it's like, do we want to sit down and refine some small things that could be used for a short-term gain, or do we want to sit back and develop everything for a long-term success? So we've been mainly putting our heads in the long-term vision of the game, and I think we're at a good state with it. So,
me personally, if I was you, I'd go the long term rather than the short term, because then people want more and more and more. So, just go long term.
Huge amount.
Yeah, like some other gaming projects that have popped up recently on the XRPL. Some short term ideas. But yeah, so.
Nick,
what else you got for us, boys? Yeah.
Next question. What did you get up to LA instead of smoking hubbly bubbly, Donny? This is what I want to know. And looking at lap dancers. What did you get up to?
Yeah, what the hell did you do there? Why did you go there?
Smoking hubbly bubbly.
What's happening in LA that you had to go? People want to know.
Yeah, so LA was Outer Edge, which was formerly known as NFT LA. just like any other conference, it's just a bunch of Web3 creators, innovators, founders of projects, technologies, whatnot, kind of coming together to showcase some different things. Whether it's, I met this one fella who did it was an NFT vending machine, but it used like digital items tied to the blockchain, and it had a cool integration where you could pay, sign, and receive an item using MetaMask, like in person, to people who were doing augmented VR with. It was weird. It was something I never even heard of, but it was really cool. A very immersive new headset he made, primarily integrating blockchain and stuff like that. So it's from tech to infrastructure to everything. But we went out there to kind of network, learn a little bit more about what's going on. I think overall it was a good fun time. A lot of things were a little bit surprising to us. A lot of people were much more optimistic than you think they'd be for the bear market we're in, and just the way things in the market feel, over the past 8 to 12 months, through Luna crash, FTX crash. A lot of people are optimistic, especially about gaming and the possibilities of Web3 integration. So
yeah, they see it as
that's my little wrap on it.
Yeah, this new wave, everybody believes that gaming is going to be the focal point of it, and we definitely agree. And it's great to meet those people that are there during the marketing conditions that we have right now, because they're true builders and they actually believe in the technology. So we did make some great connections, and we met some new friends, and it was really nice, for sure.
Was there much gaming people making games there?
Actually, yeah, we met a couple. Yeah, we did. Yeah, so that's always cool to see, and we get to show them some of the technologies that we've made, and they're like, "Are you making it for any other chain?" And we're like, "I don't know.
Maybe someday."
It'll cost.
Yeah. I agree with that. I agree with that.
We're focused on the XRP ledger, and we love it, and we have a great community, and we want to continue the growth on it, and all of our time is here. So
yeah. Nick,
MD, me next again, man. Pressure.
I saw you guys had a question about the mint progress. Was that did we kind of answer that?
Yeah.
We've covered the mint.
That.
How about London Apartments? London Apartments.
No, hold on. Do the mint thing. Then we do the other one. Yeah.
Oh, God, no.
So you want to answer that, Donnie? I see you're reading the question already.
Yeah, no, I mean, could you? So I was a little confused by the question. That is confusing people. Do you have any more to elaborate on that?
People are wondering. So the junkies have minted. They're still minting. Have they minted out?
Yeah.
Yes, no.
Oh, okay.
Then we have
so
the drowsy droids and what's happening with that. Are they minted also? No, yet. No, what's happening?
Gotcha.
In general.
Yeah, so we break it down in two ways for you. So at the time of our mint, our live, XLS 20 mint, we had about 5,500 IOUs out on the market in different holders' hands. At this point, I think we're almost to 4,500 minted out, which is a good percentage considering everything else. But so at the point, originally we started 10,000. Now we're down to a 7,000 collection, which we still have some little secrets as to why we did that. And I think that'll be cool to reveal, when it's time. But yeah, so it's still actively minting. It kind of goes back to what we were talking about with the IOUs. Is we can't really shut that down on people because at least give ample time and not make it a priority, because everything else we do doesn't really rely on that stuff minting out. Same thing with the drowsy droids, because the drowsy droids were a minting reward. So we're going to kind of keep those in conjunction open as long as necessary.
No,
the one thing I will say, yeah. The one thing I will say is any kind of future claims or airdrops are going to be limited kind of edition things, and that's why it is important to once we have this release of Junction and its beta and get it rolling. And if we do anything, we're feeling real generous and we want to do a little
a flash airdrop that you can go claim for only 24 hours. It's like things like that. It's like the only obligation we have is kind of right now just to the IOU token, and that's the reason why we keep some of those things open. But
So in
What
theory,
we do,
just real quick, in theory, so unless you were minting completely everything, you can still keep the token, right? If everything is minted, the token makes no sense anymore. It would also be
oh
kind
no,
of disappeared, basically, right?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah, and that's kind of what happens as the tokens are minted out, because the user has to give up their token to receive their NFT. We're burning the tokens, and then they're gone forever. So yeah, essentially, I mean, there is no other use. Some people like to trade them, buy and sell them on the DEX, but overall, it's like there's absolutely no reason to hold on to them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's if you have tokens, you should bin them out sooner rather than
Unless
later,
for
because
nostalgia that I've got one junk left
maybe.
and I'm holding it. Well, I haven't
How do you
because I
want to go
missed
to
it out.
the interesting one with the land and the apartments?
London apartments. Over to you,
Yeah,
Jake.
Jake and I were talking about that. I'll let him take most of this one, but
Real
yeah,
estate
we're
on the Junkiverse.
we were talking about some unique ways to kind of get those out to people. But yeah, Jake, I'll let you kind of take this one if you want.
yeah, I mean, we've just been building the land over a period of time. We're pretty much close to being done with it. Um, since we've been building out the RNG functionality for Nexus, we've actually done a lot more with how land's going to operate within the game. So in the past, we kind of had the idea of making these neighborhoods and generating the neighborhoods based on what people minted and having those pre-built. But I think we're leaning towards actually generating them whenever you walk up to that plot and you log into your specific area, if that makes sense.
So we
So
saw some of those pre-built ones, right, that you showed us a while back. So, but now you're going the other way. You're generating them randomly, just like when you mint a junkie, right? Kind of. Is that what I'm
yeah,
understanding?
yeah.
Yeah, I want to make sure Jake doesn't get too sidetracked here. But yeah, essentially, some of
Go
the stuff
on,
we're doing with the
Jake.
RNG we'll work with land, and it'll be like similar in the sense of like when you get something, you get it, but it's the way we actually are going to be getting it out to people that's going to change a little bit more than before.
Yeah,
which will be cool.
Yeah, we're thinking about doing like a specific pre-sale and having it to where you can actually choose where you want to live, in a way.
Camper
So,
van,
yeah.
buddy. We want a camper van. That's where we want to live.
Yeah, like the main idea we had for that is there's different groups within our community, and there's people that have their own specific group chats where they outside of the main junkyard, and they like to chat and talk. And I think it would be nice if you lived next to each other too, so we make that possible, especially for guilds and game and stuff, so everybody can kind of live to where they want. But
because there's clans as well, isn't there? So obviously a clan would want to live together.
yeah, exactly. And this is going to be our first edition of land. We're splitting it up into 4 different divisions. This division or district, whichever one that we forgot what we were calling them for a second. But these are just the player homes. Yeah, these are the player homes, and these are the ones that you can customize the inside of and kind of make unique to yourself. Each home is going to be 2 stories. So you get a first floor and a second floor. It's going to be like a utility space as well within the game if you want to, build some moonshine makers, and you want to every 24 hours you log into your home and you collect this potion that's minted as an NFT, and it does something unique. This is what these are going to provide, other than just having a cool spot in a game. So they do have utility with them as well. You see my screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah. But yeah, which is really cool is like we're using the NFT generator that we created for Nexus, and pretty much what it does is I have all these different traits and attributes of the land itself, all right here, and it just randomly selects one based on the weighted rarity we had attached to it, and it allows us to mint on demand and generate things just randomly. And another really cool thing about it is it's not just used for making NFTs. I could put this same prefab right here, which is a home, right? And I could just generate more and make cool maps based on things I already had built, you know? So it's a really useful tool. And this is one of the things that we're open sourcing and we're going to have within the Nexus manager. So really excited about that one.
Looks fantastic. Ooh, love it. I love this. This looks really great.
Yeah, I'm really liking how it's turning out. There's still a lot more that we want to do with it, of course. These are just like the generic homes. So I would say like the commons, you know. So we want to make some one-of-ones and some really cool, unique things. And yeah, land is
Might
going
be
to
some
be.
one-on-ones in there. But yeah, no, it's something that's gonna, it kind of goes day by day. We're trying to find, the right point in which to try to get these out to people.
Yeah.
So between all the things that are coming up, Drowsy Droids and working on the, for people to be able to play and buying land, what's gonna come first? Sort of, is it the land first? Is it
It's
what?
gonna be, well, so in terms of that thing, well, first of all, I mean, I think first thing's gonna be Junction. Junction is gonna be the first and the next thing out on the radar, that everyone will be getting
It's
kind
going
of
to
a taste
include
of.
loot boxes as well with Junction.
Yeah.
Just real quick,
Yeah, well then,
Junction
yeah.
is the open source API where others can plug in their 3D models into the Junkiverse. Is that right? Or did I understand that wrong?
No.
No,
Junction
explain
is
it.
like it's pretty much a utility page for projects to upload their collections and perform complex tasks. And we're adding the claiming functionality. We're adding a different use cases for specific projects. So if they want to have a mutation feature that they want to add to their page, we got that. They want to add the loot box functionality we built, we can do that for them. Just things in that sense. And we're open sourcing everything, but Junction itself is going to be set on a business model where we'll do it for them as well. But everything's open source, so anybody can take what we're doing and put it onto their own website and use our code for themselves. So
Sounds good.
yeah, it's kind of like a marketplace in a sense as well, for specific projects for their community. So it's all kind of compiled into one single entity. So whenever you log into the junkiverse.junction page, it's have all of the Junkiverse NFTs within your profile page. It's not going to have any other NFTs that you have within your wallet that display. So it's kind of keeps things organized and yeah.
Yeah. And don't think of it as a marketplace kind of like like on XRP or XRP Cafe. It's more of a marketplace in terms of like even our use cases of different items being purchasable with JSC or NFTs for JSC or XRP, but only things relating to our project. So it's more like an aggregator for in-game economies for gaming projects as well as art collectives, and whatever the use case kind of comes up between.
Yeah, exactly. So, if we want to sell some loot boxes for JSC, we can list them on our Junction page and you can go to there and purchase it through there. So it makes it a little bit easier to have a kind of a centralized area for projects to reach out to the community and post announcements and chat with the message board and things in that sense. So
Nick, you want to go with the next one here?
Sorry, buddy, I lost track. I had to go to the toilet.
So when is the first playable beta for the public coming? Without giving a firm date, I know you can't do that, but is it this year? Can you say that?
100%.
Yeah, it'll be this year. Kind of we touched on before. So yeah, we don't want to give a date. We have a lot of things that are looking really good. Like Jake also mentioned, like the game, is built kind of in a single player aspect. So when you bring in multiplayer, items have to be converted. They have to be able to, the same thing where if I go into the Junkiverse and I shoot Scarbo and I kill him.
Yeah, shoot Scarbo. He needs that.
You know,
come on.
one,
gonna
you need to be able to see each
targeted,
other, and two, you have to other players have to see that Scarbo went down. And so it's interactions like that you don't think about, that don't matter in single player.
I'm wearing the merch, buddy. You can't do this to me.
Love the example you gave.
So much.
No. Buy your merch.
But so it's about tweaking those things, and that's why we're gonna do some pre-alpha. Essentially, we call it pre-alpha testing with different groups of holders and community members, and doing various amounts of those before we do a full public test. And we'll have ways for even non-holders to get into these things, ways for holders to get in, because we have, at least with NFTs, over 1,000 holders right now. We can't get everyone in at once. Maybe we can. That's the thing. We haven't tested it, so that's kind of the goal over the next few weeks / months, getting that kind of going.
We got some questions from Discord.
Can I have a quick question?
Nick, go ahead.
That's okay. Obviously, you've been looking at collabs. Any news on when collabs might be joining, or is that after the launch of the Junkiverse?
Yeah, so we actually talked to a few projects, and we're trying to integrate people in different ways. Just to kind of have cool projects shown or incorporated, whether it's cosmetics, whether it's art within the game, no matter what it is. Those things will be kind of announced when we get a little bit closer. We're working on kind of not necessarily a contract, but more of an agreement of how they'll be implemented, expectations, just the technical stuff like that. But we'll announce them as they kind of come. We have quite a few that we're doing for sure, but we haven't really touched too much on it. But it'll be future stuff for sure.
Yeah. Okay. Cheers.
Should I mention about the ideas that we're having with mutation vials, Donnie?
I think we kind of keep it a little quieter because we got to make sure a few things are finalized.
Few secrets. Keep some secrets for the next one, lads. Come on.
Jake, you want to give the screen back to Duncan?
Yeah. MD wants it back. He wants control.
So did we talk about the Xpunks partnership yet?
So yeah, I mean, we're kind of just Xpunks have been a group of guys who we've been very close with, for over a year and a half now. Our partnership with them is kind of a little bit kind of quiet and not too public. I mean, obviously we have the partnership with their Launchpad, and that's kind of just them endorsing us endorsing them. A very kind of shows that we're a legitimate company. They acknowledge that. Other than that, we do have a few other things kind of planned, but nothing we're able to talk about right now.
Okay. So we'll have to wait.
I'll give you a hint. It kind of goes back to where Donnie was telling me not to talk about.
I know you guys have just a little bit of time left. I think we have 4 questions or something like that lined up.
Yeah.
There is a question about the investor search. Are you looking for investors? On what kind of investors, and what do you want to give them in exchange? It's a Discord question.
Yeah. So that is a great question. We're always searching for investors, and we're kind of hesitant when it comes to that point because typically within the space, VCs would take a large portion of their gaming token as equity or stake into the project themselves. And our JSC is going to be a free earned token that we're never going to do a pre-sell on. So we're never going to try to generate money off of JSC. I mean, way in the future, we might sell some to fund some certain aspects of the game. And, we have our founder's wallet holdings and things in that sense. But what we're mainly searching for is a game publisher. We're willing to give up equity within Dark Oak Studios, the company itself, and search for a good publisher that can help us market and make our game to what our vision is. We're trying to find the rock star for that, so we're searching hard for it.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's a little more complex at the like, you know, the more core level too is you want to find, we've heard stories, you know, almost call them horror stories of projects getting investments and, you know, having a dude give you, you know, $1 million and that's all he does is one thing. But even having a dude who gives you maybe 250,000 and has a network of connections, has different avenues of assistance, can get you in touch with the right people, you know, is much more valuable than 750K more.
Definitely.
So it's really about those things, you know, finding investors or investment groups or publishers that have a shared vision, you know, or the long haul. So yeah, I mean, overall, it's like we've done a lot of research. I've learned a lot about these different things. You know, made some connections out in LA as well with some different investment groups and analysts and you know, account managers and asset managers and stuff like that. So definitely learned a lot, and it's something is, you know, also one of our focuses over the next few months is to you know, try to possibly find a partner or partnership or you know, long-term equity partner in the business that's going to help take, like Jake said, the Junkiverse to the vision we see it, and you know, get it there quicker.
Great. We got just one more question left. It's about Nexus. Nexus platform was mentioned in the announcements, and this was asked on Discord and again in the chat. Can you go a little bit into that and explain what it is and tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, so that is our Wave 5 grant application. Pretty much is everything that we're doing in Unity kind of compiled all into one open sourced tool set to give developers an easy implementation within Unity. Also, we kind of want to empower indie developers to build games on the XRP ledger. And pretty much what it is right now, it's XRP wallet login. It's the real-time NFT generation tool that I just showed you with the land. It's in-game transactions, so buying and selling tokens and NFTs within the game, peer-to-peer trading, the minting functionality as well, just basic minting within gameplay loops. So, you know, you go up to an object, you interact with it and it mints an NFT, or you shoot an enemy, kill it, and you loot it, and you mint that as an NFT. You know, things like that. We're making kind of workflows to how we do it and how others can implement it into their games. A lot of complex tools as well. So it's kind of just
the person's asking if this being built depends on receiving the Wave 5 grant.
Yeah, so in a way. So let's say, you put it like this: we're building it regardless. You know, whether it's open sourced is a whole different thing, because there's two sides to it. Is, you know, receiving grant money, furthering the ecosystem, and putting that extra effort to, you know, have even the NFT minting, you know, be able to have options for, you know, each kind of metadata standard for it to be dynamic. So it's not just like our gaming NFTs. Or things like that. So what the Ripple grant really does allows us to open source it, add additional features, because like Jake said, we want to empower just not just XRP indie game game developers, devers, but no, because we want to make those things like easy for people and not scary, because a lot of, you know, game developers get scared, get worried about those things. So
yeah,
if we're able to make it a little bit easier and make those connections to blockchain, you know, and not have these amazing game developers worried about the blockchain side of things, and just be able to build their games, and that's kind of the idea. And I mean, XRPL is very good for gaming. It has a lot of the pros that you know, even games like Polygon may have as well. So
yeah, it's also like, you know, building it all into a manager window is going to be a big stretch as well, and that's what comes with the open source side of things, because you kind of have to compile it all together and make it work in conjunction with each other for other people to use. And it works for us, but it's dependent on our workflow and how we do it, and that's going to be really complex to try to show people how we do our things. And with the grant money, that's going to be a huge step, is to make it all work together and easy to use. So that's a big stretch that we would not do unless we had the grant money.
So you would basically be helping game developers get into Web3.
Yeah, exactly.
That's just one side of it, yeah, and then it's also
Yeah.
empowering projects that are already here. You know, we've had countless people ask us about, you know, some of the code, if we can share the code and whatnot, and we were a little reluctant at first because we wanted to do this grant, we wanted it to be real good, but you know, as soon as you know, we hear back, and if we hear positive things, you know, it's going to be something we can provide to a lot of projects.
Yeah, right off the get go, because you know we have a lot of the aspects already done, and it's to the point where right now we can probably release our XRPL login system as well as our NFT generation tool in Unity, so we can get some more people actually building their collections within Unity, because it makes it super easy to actually reconstitute and build and use those NFTs within the game if you already have them, you know, built correctly, and you actually do it from here. So it's a pretty cool tool.
Yeah, definitely. Quickly before, I know you guys have got to go, which we appreciate your time. MD, Unity Engine, successful, mint successful.
I think we covered that earlier.
Did you?
Yeah, I think
The 1 second.
Yeah, I think we covered everything actually.
Yeah.
Some questions were like duplicates kind of, and we went over the last one here that is about LA, which we talked about as well. And so we're basically at the end with the questions. I know you guys have to go, so I want to appreciate and thank you for
Really
being
appreciate
here.
you joining us.
And do you have one more thing, something else you want to say before we close here for today?
Merch, lads. Come on, buy the merch.
Yeah, you get some merch, but no, loot boxes are going to be a lot crazier than at least their actual structure than we may be leading on to. So they're going to be awesome. We can't wait to share those things with you. And
yeah, it's pretty complex, and I'm super excited how they turned out. Bean did such an amazing job kind of setting it all up, and his brain is constantly sparking new ideas and different ways that we can go around the typical norms of how people build these things. So nobody's really done it the way that we're doing it, and you know, we're really excited about that.
Shout out to Bean God.
Yeah,
no,
say
yeah,
hi
shout
to
out to
Bean
Bean.
God. Say hi to us.
Yeah,
To him.
and also Kyle. Kyle's been amazing on the Unity side.
You've got. I must admit, you've got an
yeah.
amazing team behind you, without a doubt.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
Well, that's it then for today. Thanks everyone for tuning in, watching, giving us your, you know, follow, like, and comment. And that's it.
Yeah.
Nick,
Jake, Donnie,
so
thanks ever so much
for being here, Jake and Donnie.
Oh yeah, no,
very
this is
first
fun.
one.
Excited.
We appreciate it. Thank you. And on that one,
of course.
To the moon.
To the moon.
To the moon,
Also,
baby.
To the moon.